This is Andrew Satter, video journalist for Climate Progress, and I'm in southwestern Oregon where two massive fires have burned about 75,000 acres. I'm about to go meet with a state forest official who is going to give me a tour of the devastation.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm Brian Ballou at the Department of Forestry.
See, the big windy fire, it's pretty good size, 25,000 acres. So you see, blackened patches. Likely once you walk in on through it, there's going to be a lot of underburned area. But, it kind of gives you an idea of the scale of the fire.
So I'm walking through an area that recently burned, and it smells kind of like a campfire. Brian told me that the reason the area isn't completely torched is that these big fires jump from spot to spot, consuming a few trees and other fuels here and leaving others nearby completely untouched.
In more current times, really started seeing the change in the 1980s, where larger fires topping 100,000 acres became less uncommon. The difference seems to be where you have the warm winter going into a long, hot, dry summer. That's what we're experiencing this year. I mean, really, the rainfall essentially quit right around the first of the year. So once we got into July, we started having dry lightning storms and consequently a lot of big fires.
What are sort of the effects of the post-fire effects you really got to be concerned about?
Everywhere from fairly large landslides. The problem carries on down the slope into the water that feeds into the major river systems. You get blockages, you get flooding, you get heavy siltation in spawning beds. It can even affect downstream areas where people live.
And so when you have these boom years, how does that impact the cost of firefighting? Are you already over budget?
Oh boy, yeah. Yes, all across the board. But I just saw something that came through from our state office in Salem that says just globally we've expended more than $100 million in firefighting funds on state protected lands this summer.
And how does that compare to past years?
In recent years, it's a dramatic increase in the amount of money that's been spent on large fire suppression.
So I just left Brian, and to recap, 2013 has been one of the worst fire seasons in Oregon in the past decade, with an increase in total fires, number of acres burned, and number of extreme conditions days. And it's only the beginning of September, which Brian says is usually the worst month. And wow, just on cue, look at that. That is a new flare-up since I was here, since I just passed here about an hour ago. So I guess Oregon is still burning.